HTH is proud to be fueled by BioSteel, produced locally in Windsor, Ontario. Zero sugar hydration, no artificial additives, performance focused, trusted by athletes with eco-friendly packaging. Visit biosteel.ca and use the promo code CRISPYHTH, all caps, to save 20% off your order. That's CRISPYHTH to save 20% on biosteel.ca. What's going on, all you beauts and beauties? Welcome to the Hat-Trick Hockey Podcast, brought to you by GL Heritage, the official beer of HTH. I am your host, Brett Hedges, along for the ride with two of my favorite guys, the creator of the show and the king of crispy, Anthony Gaudette. Take a bow, Ant. Say hello.
Hi, everyone.
And, of course, Mr. Hockey Google, who you might have heard on CBC Sports this past weekend doing the USPORTS Volleyball Championships, Mr. Tristan McGuire. Hello, Tristan.
Hey, Brett, how's things?
Oh, I'm fantastic, my friend.
Good
Before
stuff.
we get going with the show, make sure you follow us on all of our social media avenues. Make sure you give us a subscription on YouTube. Make sure you visit our merchandise link as well. And wherever you can rate the podcast, please do give us 5 stars. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And, help us in any way that you can. And, of course, support our sponsors because they support us. Make sure you get your BioSteel order for 20% off at biosteel.ca using the promo code CRISPYHTH. That's CRISPYHTH. And, of course, for all you hockey fiends out there, get all your hockey tape and your socks and all that gear, your wax. Get 10% off your order at Howie's Hockey Tapes by using the promo code HTH Podcast. Gentlemen, good to see you. How are you today? Oh, Mr.
Yeah, how was
Gilbert, what a
work?
tremendous looking trophy you have there.
Boys, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. It's exhausting being fantastic at everything, isn't it, Ant?
No, well, I wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't go that far. But getting a couple episodes in a row, everybody on at the same time. So, we're buzzing right now a little bit. So I guess that's good. But
We're simpatico, as the old
always,
internet
it's
provider would
boys.
say.
It's always a good day sitting down talking hockey with you guys. Come on.
Yeah, always a good time.
Tristan, have you been busy lately?
Yeah, I have alongside you. Well, never alongside you, but at the same place as you.
Yes.
It was,
Tell people about your most recent experience.
Yeah, so this past Saturday, I was given the opportunity, thanks to you as well as Andrew Papadopoulos is vouching for me, in a discussion with Elisa. Is it Hamilton? What's her last name?
Mitten.
Mitten. That's it. Yeah. Lisa Mitten. So thank you to her as well for the opportunity at the Lancer Center for the 2026 USPORTS Men's National Volleyball Championship presented by BioSteel. So it works out
Yes.
in that regard. What a terrific opportunity. Able to do the broadcast alongside Scott Koski for 2 of the games and Andrew Papadopoulos for 1 of them. Scott Koski, for those who don't know, longtime national player, coach of the women's program for a while. Now he coaches at UBC Okanagan. This might sound like just a lot of jargon to people who aren't volleyball fans, but highly touted individual, and a very, very great people person. Just so easy to get along with. He made my job way easier, and honestly, he raised the value of my production quality with him to a sky high level. So great honor. Happy to see my Windsor Lancers as well playing in it. They got beat out in the semifinal, and for good reason. TWU is they're vaunted. Their reputation is insane. They win.
A wagon, you could say.
Yeah, year in and year out, they're the best program in the country. In the past couple of years, they've been a farm for Team Canada. So congratulations to them on their national championship. They went on to win in 5 in the finals over at the University of British Columbia. So great opportunity, and happy that I got to share it with some colleagues like you and Andrew. But just the same, you know what I was mad about? I was there all afternoon. I'm working this. I didn't get one of those quarter zips. I wanted one of those quarter zips so bad. And I'm like, man, I should have showed up yesterday. Man, I should have showed up. And then Andrew's like, yeah, you should have. And I'm like, no. Oh,
Mine's an XL. Do you want mine?
No, that's fine. No, I'm saying like, oh, I
Yeah,
should have been there earlier, but yeah.
unfortunately, we had placed the order for those like a month ahead, and this was before you were in the loop for the broadcasting, and I remember mentioning, I was like, "Oh, did we put it in order for Tristan too?" And she's like, "No, I'm sorry." Like she felt so bad that you didn't get one,
It's all right. I got a firm handshake and okay.
and a
It
kick
was
in
it
the
was
ball.
great. It was great.
Yeah. How did it feel to be able to say on CBC, I'm Tristan McGuire?
Pretty cool. It's
That's
national television.
dude.
This
That's
is
actually that's wild, dude.
the big leagues is that way, and I went there, so
Yeah, that's
it felt
fucking
pretty cool. And
nuts.
for the sport that I actually played, it's a lot different
Yeah.
than doing hockey with NBC Sports Engine, which is great. But yeah, CBC and having my family text me because my mom sent out the bat signal to everybody to go watch. And it was great. Yeah, it felt really cool, and I'm very blessed for the opportunity. Um, that's one of those things that it falls into place, and you kind of think it's for a reason, right? Because what are the odds that the championship for the sport that I love, maybe just a little bit more than hockey, comes to my hometown? Well, not hometown, but within 20 minutes of it, and I get the opportunity to be on the play-by-play call for it. Yeah, it was special, maybe
Yeah,
ordained.
it was a good time. I also got to be part of that as well. I actually had the joy of doing 6 matches alongside Andrew Papadopoulos, who is a fantastic man and a
Yeah,
good young volleyball coach and a great volleyball broadcaster. And so he and I on Sunday. So I got to do 2 matches on Friday. I got to do the Windsor game on Friday, which was crazy because they reverse swept Montreal. They went down 2 sets to 0, and they came back all the way back and won that one in 5, and that was cool. Seeing the TLC packed like that and having all the fans behind their team and helping them come back the way that they did, it was a lot of fun because back when I was a journalist and editor at the newspaper at the university, like the big thing was getting the memorandum and the votes from the student body to approve the new facility, and that was like in 2015. I want to say
oh
2015
wow.
that all those votes had it, and the first year that they had the votes, they didn't get all the votes that they needed. So they needed all 3 student bodies, the grad students, the part-time students, and the full-time students, to all be over 50% or whoever voted for it
Right.
to be in an acknowledgement of it or to agree to it. And they didn't get it on the first try. So the next year they re-put in the memorandum with some different language, and I'm not sure that any of the financial details were different, but a little bit more, a little bit of a better information campaign to let everyone know what was going to happen. And so they got it approved, and then it took a while for it to happen, and then COVID hit, and so that made the building delayed. The building of the building was delayed, and so then they finally opened it, and so it's been open for about 3 years now, and this was what they wanted when they put in all the
Yeah.
funding for that building. This is what they wanted. They wanted the ability to host national championships. They wanted a state-of-the-art media suite so they could handle all of the broadcasting stuff in-house. And we are the first school. I'll give you these people. University of Windsor. I'll give us our props. First school to run a national championship all in-house without the outside help of, say, a CBC or say like a local cable company comes in to do that. We're the first school to do it all by ourselves.
That's awesome.
So big congratulations to everyone that was involved in that. Big shout out to my boy Justin Kelly Box, who was the
Yeah.
director of everything all weekend. He's someone that I've worked alongside for the past 4 years, and he's been a great. The only reason why we were able to do that because he is a highly skilled individual, and basically like we built him up because we know, hey, eventually we have the nationals. Hey, eventually, like we're like, and this whole group of like camera people and graphics and all that stuff, like we've been building up to this for years, and it was a lot of fun. So I ended up getting to do the 2 matches on the Friday. I did the Queen's Cup on Saturday with Cody Rusan, University of Windsor playing UQTR, and the University of Windsor unfortunately lost in overtime there. So that was the second time that I've got to do the Queen's Cup with Cody, which is the OUA championship game for men's hockey. The winner of the East Division plays the West Division in a 1-game playoff. And 3 years ago, in 2026, Windsor hosted that, and they lost in triple overtime. Nathan Torquia in net. This time, Windsor loses in 2 minutes into the first overtime, and Kasim Gadet scores the winner there for UQTR. But the University of Windsor will go on to the national championships, and they're going to play that the day of this recording. They're going to start their national tournament run there as the number 4 seed in Canada. So congratulations to Kevin Hamlin.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
everyone else. Max Donoso from Windsor was a second-team All-Star, All-Canadian All-Star, I should say, and Colton Smith was the one of the co-rookies of the year in USPORTS as well. So 2 of our former Windsor Spitfires players doing well for the Windsor Lancers. So I did that game at 2:00 with Cody. Then I had to come back to do volleyball for the 8:00 match. So Tristan, it was key that Tristan was available on the Saturday because there was only so many broadcasters that we have in the city and we needed Tristan for Saturday. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So glad it all worked out.
Imagine it was fucking me on the call for a volleyball game.
and volleyball to me, like I was a color guy, right? Because I haven't been a main play-by-play person for volleyball in a number of years. But my job was to second Andrew, right, and do ad reads and provide some analysis and more so read off stats and try not to sound dumb. But so I'd do the Queen's Cup at 2:00. Had to come back to do the 8:00 game for the Windsor Lancers to play against Trinity Western in the semifinals. After Tristan had done the triple header, and then he stayed for the Windsor Lancers game.
Yeah, sorry about that making you have to.
It's
I
funny
know you had
because
offered me the opportunity for it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be in the crowd for that. And
no worries. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't taking your spot if you wanted it, right? If you wanted to be on the call for that game, I wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to have that. But I understand why you wanted to be a part of that because it was an electric atmosphere.
Oh.
And we soloed you on camera a couple times in the crowd shots. Just
actually?
Oh yeah, we got you a couple times. We're like, oh, look at that man in the schmedium shirt. Like
that's not a schmedium, buddy.
Start fucking beaking at him.
No, it was just yeah. So we got you a couple times in a crowd shot.
Look at you guys though. You guys all fucking growed up. You guys on CBC and stuff calling volleyball games. Look at you guys go.
It felt pretty cool. It was fun.
It was a good time. So that's the 3rd or 4th time I've done stuff for CBC through the University of Windsor.
It's wild.
And then after we did the semifinal game at 8:00, Windsor lost that one 3-1 to Trinity Western, but they were able to take a set from the best team in the country. And then on Sunday, I did the triple header, the consolation final between Montreal and Laval, which Laval won. I did the bronze medal game between University of Windsor and Manitoba, which Manitoba won, but Windsor placed 4th in the country, which is their best finish in program history. That program's been around for 60 years, so it was nice to be there to see that. And then I did the gold medal game between University of British Columbia and Trinity Western Spartans. So these 2 teams from BC that are 53 kilometers apart on the other sides of Vancouver had to come all the way to Windsor to play in the gold medal match. And it was a lot of fun, and that was a 5-set thriller. I said in the pregame, I was like, give me a red jacket and some zippers because this is going to be a 5-set thriller like Michael Jackson. So, and it absolutely lived up to the bill. Tristan, do you want to talk about Caden Schmidt for a minute? Just how much this guy just absolutely just launches the ball off his, just an incredible outside hitter for Trinity Western, and then we'll get into hockey, I swear.
Yeah, he is...
Anselm Ryan was unreal too. Tate Callis, but
probably the most intelligent player I've seen in a long time because it's not just how hard he hits the ball every time. I think there was guys who could probably hit the ball a little bit harder than him there, just from watching. But just the same, like the way, Ansel Ryan, you mentioned him, the sets that he would get from Ryan and the way he could adjust to them and just crush it every single time. I've never seen anyone like that. Like every time he's getting a kill, like out of outside. Very rarely does he get blocked. He got blocked by the Lancers to go up 26-25. Big block by Darian Koski. But outside of that, the guy was a cheat code. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't go to him maybe more against Windsor. Part of me thinks, and all due credit to Windsor, They won the one game fair and square. Trinity was trying, but even in those other games, Trinity Western was smiling the whole time. There was no pressure on them at all. Like they knew they were going to win that game. They were like, well, we dropped one, we laid a bad egg, and then they won like what was that, like 25-16 the next game?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
Like they ran away with
like
it.
that
So
third set, it was like 26-24. Like it was really close. Like
yeah, but like they're an unreal team. But you know who I think might be the second or third best team there that I watched? Laval. And they ended up winning the consolation. I think Laval was a medaling level team, and I felt so bad for them that they got bounced in the quarterfinal. Like, they're unreal. They had the best setter in the whole tournament. Like, don't get me wrong, Ryan is great, but
Boulay.
no, his name is Saint Aubin, but I'm trying to think of his first name.
Sorry, Boulay
Is it?
played for him. I made this mistake during the consolation match too, but Boulay was the second string setter. He played in the consolation final until the fourth set, and then they brought in Charles Saint-Aubin.
Charles, that's it.
Things
Yeah,
up,
Charles Saint
and then
Aubin.
they won. Yeah, he was the first team All-Canadian setter. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a 6'4" setter. Like,
Thick
although
boy,
and
too.
so Ryan, how tall is Ryan? Like 6'8", 6'9"?
I think he was 6'8" or 6'9". Yeah, just massive.
As a setter? So, Ant, while you're mentioning over there, just to let you know, a setter usually is the second shortest player on the team. And this guy was like the second tallest on the court. So having that as a blocker, like
Yeah, and he was just instrumental on dumps, and like he was doing
anyway,
one hand sets, and he was just crispy.
Ant,
To,
Ant wants
just
to get into hockey.
yeah, it's okay. He's just crunching on chips.
Well, bro, you guys are just doing. I'm letting you guys do your thing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
honestly,
okay.
I'm fucking happy for you guys, man. That's a big accomplishment, man. CBC, you kidding me?
Yeah, that's
Felt
true.
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, and getting to do the gold medal match between UBC and Trinity Western was a lot of fun. So, great tournament, great time. I'm glad that you got to contribute and have a lot of fun. I'm really happy for you that you got to do the sport that you love on a national broadcast like that, and I'm happy for me too that I got to do that too. So,
Yeah.
another thing off the checkboard list. So you can add that on the resume. Broadcaster for CBC Sports. Okay. Enough volleyball talk. First things first. Ant, when's the last time you played volleyball? Gym class in grade 9?
Well, no. Probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
So
Not
when you were
horrible.
50?
Yeah, I was 45.
Yeah.
I
10
had-
years.
I had just hacking darts, just them just rolled up in my sleeve and stuff like the pack.
Yeah, it was back when he was part of the Greasers.
Yeah. Now I don't
a
even
sweet
have hair
guy.
to slick, so now
Running with Tony Scapone.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, this is a hockey podcast. Let's talk about hockey. Of course, University of Windsor men's hockey team, OUA runner-up. They go to the national championships. Congratulations to them. Max Donoso, second team All-Canadian. Colton Smith, USPORTS All-Rookie team, and USPORTS Co-Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to those guys. Best of luck to the Lancers at the national tournament. Kevin Hamlin's a beauty. Had a great time chatting with him before the game, doing a nice interview with him. And that was the last game at Capri Pizzeria Arena as well. They're going to move to 80 Knox next year. So yeah, it was fun being there for the last Lancers game at the Capri. It used to be called South Windsor Arena, but it's called Capri Pizzeria Rec Complex. Hockey, gentlemen, OHL, NHL, or PJHL. Where would you like to start?
I don't care.
I
You're the
don't-
host.
I'm the host with the most. Okay, let's do a quick chat about our Windsor Spitfires because their regular season is about to finish up, and they picked up a big win earlier this week. They beat the Erie Otters 5-1, and more importantly, not just the win was important, but with that win they were able to get ahead of the Flint Firebirds in the West Division and the Western Conference standings with 94 points. To Flint's 93. But even more important was last night's game. The Flint Firebirds lost to the Owen Sound Attack 4-3 to stay at 93 points with only one game remaining in the regular season for those Flint Firebirds. So Windsor, with 2 games left, they need to, if they get 2 points out of the last 2 games, then they clinch the West Division, and they'll clinch the number 2 overall seed in the Western Conference, and that will set them up with either the Owen Sound Attack, Guelph Storm, or Saginaw Spirit in the first round of the playoffs. Selfishly, for Ant, you, and myself, we would like to see Saginaw in the first round so we could do some broadcasts with your TV Windsor. But hopefully, regardless of who their first round opponent is, we're hoping that maybe it's a Windsor Flint matchup in the second round so that we can also do some broadcasts for your TV Windsor as well. I just wanted to lay it out for the folks there that the first round home games for the Windsor Spitfires have been determined already, regardless of who their opponent is. They're going to play on Thursday and Saturday next week. So that'll be the 26th and the 28th of March. That will be the first round of the OHL playoffs for the Windsor Spitfires. First 2 games are going to be Thursday and Saturday. Any thoughts about the OHL, boys, before we move on to anything else? Or did I lay it out pretty good for you guys?
Andrew Robinson got a hat trick. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that.
And he's one of the players we got at the deadline, so it's good to see him performing well, and that we can actually get some depth scoring. Did we not get him at the deadline?
No. Robinson was a draft pick, and we got him.
My apologies. I was getting him mixed up with who else came in the Villeneuve deal?
Villeneuve, Ferrand.
Ferrand, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Thibodeau from Brampton. Robinson, they got him at the end of last season from the OJHL once the NCAA rules changed. Because he's committed to go to a school in the NCAA. I can't remember where, but I'm pretty sure it's like Cornell or something, like a really good school.
Oh, wow.
I think. I'm sorry if I misplaced. I whatever. But when he came down from the OJHL last year, he led all defensemen in scoring in that league.
That's right.
So good for him to net a hattie there, a career moment for him. Good for him. And the Windsor Spitfires are absolutely going to need him down the stretch as they're playing without Ethan Belchez, who has a broken collarbone. And they're down, I think there was 4 players that were down because Villeneuve got hurt playing against Kitchener last week. So they're down Villeneuve, Cole Davis, Belchez, and another player. I think it was Nesbitt maybe that was out with a lower body injury, or Spellicy that was out. So they had Anthony Cristoforo, who is a forward, who's a defenseman that's played a lot of forward this year due to injuries and suspensions and stuff like that. But they also had Carson Woodall playing. Connor Woodall. Yeah, sorry. Connor Walton is the other player, the other defenseman. Sorry, Carson Woodall. They had him playing forward too. He was playing first line forward on the right wing last game that I checked as well. So, you know what? Good for these boys to be flexible in their own right. But the Windsor Spitfires are getting it done with a lineup that's full of players playing multiple roles. So good for them. What are your thoughts, Ant?
Well, Robinson again yesterday, +3. Or sorry, not yesterday, but last game when they won 5-1 there, he was +3. This rookie, what's his name again there? The McKeish there?
Yeah, Sultan McKeish.
He does like a little bit of everything, eh? Like one game he's in the scraps, and then the next game he goes 1 and 2, and he's +3. And it's just, I just love this kid's game, man. And he's not like overly big, really, is he?
No, he's pretty small.
He's pretty small, but he's figured out the league.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, he just seems to just get into those right areas. But for a rookie, man, I'm really liking him right now. Garden's been solid. Nesbitt had 2 the other night, I believe. So it is nice to see, not just one guy scoring or 2 guys scoring. It's nice to see it coming from up and down the whole lineup, which they don't really have a choice considering all the freaking injuries you just listed, right? So I would rest guys now, no?
Well, they haven't clinched second in the division yet. So if they win on Friday against London, then they would clinch the second seed.
Okay.
And they would clinch the division. Then you could rest guys on Sunday.
In the last game, yeah.
Okay.
Because Flint only has 1 game left, and they play London on Saturday. So
what would happen if Windsor loses when they play London?
So if they lose against London, they have to wait and see how Flint does against London the next night. And because they got to travel to Sault Ste. Marie to play the Greyhounds on Sunday at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Ooh, with Carter George.
Yeah. So, and Carter George and the Greyhounds were playing really, really well, and they've dropped. They were only like 5 points behind Windsor when they played them 2 weeks ago. They beat Windsor in overtime 4-3, and they were only within 5 points. And then since then, Windsor hasn't lost, and the Greyhounds have lost quite a few games. I want to say at least 3 of 4 since then. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy juxtaposition. And anytime we think that Windsor's going to drop, we're like, oh, here comes the rest of the league kind of thing. They show up and they start winning games. And I think it was a couple weeks ago that they lost 2 in a row. They lost to Kitchener on the Friday, and then they lost to Flint on the Sunday. That was the gold medal game between Canada and US. We're like, okay, here comes the rest of the league. And since then, they've won 5 of 6 games, I believe. So Windsor's doing good. And like the one game that they lost was in overtime. So they've gotten 11 out of 12 points. So they're doing just fine. And they're 1 win away from clinching the OHL West Division and the 2nd overall seed, which at the beginning of the year, we thought, okay, this team is going to run away and be the number 1 seed. But Kitchener's been absolutely unreal this year. So no shame being number 2 to them, because they had a great series last year in the second round of the OHL playoffs as well. So keep an eye on your scoreboards, and Windsor's going to host round 1, games 1 and 2 on Thursday the 26th and Saturday the 28th at the WFCU Center. So get your tickets or watch on TV. Gentlemen, we might have to use our media passes to go check 100%. Those out.
That'd be wonderful.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts on the O?
Go Spits.
Go Spits, go.
Yeah, go Spits. And I think this year's playoffs is going to be kind of anyone's. I'm not betting on any of the high seeds to outplay the lower seeds, even in the first round. So
yeah,
keep your fingers on the pulse.
I agree. Top to bottom, this conference is really good. Yep. And after last night, London moved up into the 4 spot ahead of Sault Ste. Marie. So yeah, in a year that London's supposed to be rebuilding, they're doing just fine. They got 39 wins and 83 points. So they're just ahead of the Sioux Greyhounds. So that game on the Sunday that Windsor plays, if Windsor clinches on the Friday, that game is even way more important to Sault Ste. Marie on the Sunday. So you're going to get their best effort there. Okay. OHL tab. Exited out. Okay, quickly, the NHL has 14 games left in the regular season, and the Detroit Red Wings are holding on to a playoff spot. They are the 2nd wildcard team behind the Boston Bruins and just ahead of the Columbus Blue Jackets with 81 points. And just behind them, the Ottawa Senators are creeping up in the standings with 77 points as well. Boys, huge games for the Detroit Red Wings this week. They host Montreal, and they they play Montreal and they play Boston this weekend. Are these the 2 biggest games for the Detroit Red Wings in the last 5 years?
Yeah, next to those Montreal games they had a couple of years ago, back-to-backs where they had to win both, and they did, and then Philadelphia pulls the goalie
in overtime.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, TJ Oshie scores for the Capitals, and the Capitals they had like a minus 26 goal differential or something. But that's one thing. Speaking of goal differential, I look at the Wings are -3.
Yeah.
They are the only team. Hang on, if I look at the whole league right now, wild card. Okay, they are the only team aside from Seattle currently in a playoff spot with a goal differential that's in the negative. Never mind.
Anaheim's
in
-11.
First place with a -11.
That's crazy. What? Yeah, what a disparity in divisions, right?
Yeah, well, just that though. Even still, that being said, like you got to score more if you're Detroit. Now Larkin's hurt again. Oh, that's another thing. Larkin's hurt. Our let's be real. Our season's done. Columbus is a better team than us. They're more consistent than us. The Wings are falling apart. Like we're a Band-Aid right now. We're a Band-Aid. Andrew Kopp is out. Dylan Larkin's out. Poor John Gibson's trying to save everything. He has too this year. Like if we don't have Gibson this year, we are screwed. Yep. Like any team that relies on a goal, like we're literally Montreal from a couple of years ago, where we're gonna if we get in, we're gonna limp into the playoffs and probably get thumped. Like we're gonna have to play Tampa and it's going to be bad. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, Red Wings fans, oh, well, in the playoffs, anything can happen. Yeah, you get one more game. You might get a 5-game series, like a gentleman's sweep, but like, or Buffalo. We didn't even talk about them. They're in first place right now. They're a wagon.
Yeah, what a fun turnaround for the Buffalo Sabres, man.
Wild,
It's a fun
dude.
team.
And a shutout last night for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Like, both their goalies are unreal. Devin Levi and UPL. Like, just, yeah. The Atlantic Division's terrific this year. And honestly, when I look at Buffalo, Tampa, and Montreal, I can't include Detroit in that conversation for skill. I can't. Because it's not. As a Wings fan, I try and watch every game that I can. I might have missed 2 or 3 broadcasts that were out of whatever commercial, anyway, zonage.
Out of region.
Yeah, that's it, out of region. But the Wings just, unless Columbus falls off, we're probably going to miss. Or Boston. I can see, if anyone misses, I think it would be Boston out of the 3. I can see the Wings, maybe they clutch up this year. Maybe this year we finally get it. If we don't, it's just like, brother, what are you doing? And also, that trade we made for Justin Falk, absolutely ridiculous. We traded away Dmitry Bychelnikov, who I think was our best prospect. Kid's beating out Panarin's numbers in the KHL, and we trade him. I get it, he signed 1 extra year there. He just signed that, but like, that's way too big of a risk. Unless Eisman's positive, like, oh, this guy's never coming over, why would you throw that in there with a first and a second to be like, oh yeah, we got Justin Falk. He's 33 years old. It's, I don't know, man. It's frustrating right now as a Wings fan because we didn't get any good young piece that's going to help us. Nothing. I get it was kind of a hard market to do that in right now. A lot of picks and stuff are throwing around, but like, we got to do something in the offseason that brings in better scoring. Like, we still need one more big central gun up front, I think. Then we'll be set. I think
We
our
need
back gets fine.
A big dog. Like a big dog.
Do you mean physically or like?
No, like goal scoring.
You need a star.
Okay, you know who I think if I'm Detroit, I try and get. Hang on, I want to see what he has on his contract.
I will just recap the trade deadline while we do that. So, Detroit they traded a conditional 4th-round pick to get David Perron from Ottawa. They traded Soderblom to I forget who. Oh, San Jose for a 3rd-round pick. They then used that Pittsburgh. Yeah, they got it for a 3rd-round pick. They then sent that 3rd-round pick as well as their 1st-round pick and Bychelnikov and Justin Hall to St. Louis for the Justin Falk trade. So that's their trade deadline in a nutshell there. I was happy that they made a move at the deadline to get a top 4 defenseman. I understand why you'd be upset that they traded Bychelnikov, and the only reason I agree with you that the only reason why I think Stevie did that is because he knew that he was never going to come over, or even in the next couple of years. So I like the trade. I understand why people would be upset for trading away the top prospect, but if he's never going to wear the jersey, then you might as well throw him in.
But like, man, I don't know. That's the trade that you throw out there to get a right. Yeah, okay, it's good you get a good right shot, and like you limit Sindon Pellikka's time now, but
And it's not a rental. He's here for at least one more year.
yeah, that's true, and I like that deal.
I like that deal better than 2 firsts for him.
I still kind of wish a couple of years back we would have extended Shane Gostisbehere. I was not happy that we let him walk at all. I'm glad we got Perron back. That's good. He's actually a great room guy. Like he feels like a Detroit Red Wing, which is a really good feeling. Like he's one of the old guys who I enjoy watching. Also, shout out, you know who the worst player I've ever watched? I was just thinking about it last night. I'm like, you know what? Thank God that we don't have this guy on our team anymore. Because at least I can watch a game without crying. Do you guys remember Danny DeKaiser?
DeKaiser,
Absolutely terrible. Number 60.
Western Michigan legend.
He was good when he was young, but then I think he like broke his back or something.
He was great when he first came over from the NCAA to Detroit, but yeah, you're right. By
And then
the end, he was a pylon. Respectfully,
he was terrible. Like he should have been not even in the ECHL. Send this guy to the FPHL or whatever, and like way down. It was brutal.
I didn't even know he was in the NHL still.
And he was wearing an A. And I'm like, this guy's getting 30 minutes right. Jeff Blashill's like, Danny looks good out there.
Oh, what? For Chicago.
No, when Blashill was our coach, I'm saying.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So where's DeKaiser now?
Sitting in the broadcast table for the Wings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he retired. As soon as Yzerman's like, okay, now we need to start winning. Danny, here's a buyout, and I think he got bought out. I don't think he played out his last year of his contract.
I think you're right.
But anyway.
Crazy.
Well, we got rid of Justin Hall too in that deal, so that's a big plus too.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why we had to give up Buchelnikov.
Yeah.
It's like St. Louis takes one looking at, are you high? We're not taking. And they're like, Yzerman's like, hang on a minute.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, okay.
That's why I mentioned
in the group. Immediately signs a 2-year extension with Minsk Dynamo, and they're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a little bit of 4D chess by Stevie, but yeah.
Ant put it in the group chat when Falk got traded. So he was like, oh, hey, Detroit got Falk, and I looked it up, and I was like, but what on earth are we going to do without Justin Hall for the rest of his career here? But yeah,
also
anywhere he's gone, everyone just picks on him. Yeah.
I want to say, like, he doesn't play. I want to clarify. Buchelnikov doesn't play for Minsk Dynamo. He plays for, like, Moto Kerbrabelinsk or something. It's like or Lokomotiv.
Locomotive, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they are. Right?
So I'm looking it up right now.
All right.
Dmitry Bushelnikov plays for HCCSKA Moscow.
Oh, he got traded to the best team in the league. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
He's only 22 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. What else do you guys want to chat on the NHL? Anything really? Or
hey, what did you guys think of that knee on Austin Matthews?
Oh my God!
Hey, what do you want me to say when you say what did I think?
Like what did you like?
It's a dirty play.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not Austin Matthews.
Do you think 5 games was enough? Do you think it should have been more? Do you?
I think it's because it's a star player, and it's Radko Gudas. I think those two factors come in, and people go, "Oh my gosh!" Suspend him for 20 games. But end of the day, I watch it back. It was a dangerous play by Gudas, but not an intentional play. And I think 5 games was apropos in that regard.
Really? I don't know if I would have gave him. It was his 5th time.
With a kneeing?
No, it was his 5th time being tossed and being thrown out of games and shit.
This year or in his career?
No, in his career.
Okay.
5th time.
I still say
trip
5
to the
games.
NHL office, whatever. I think he had a phone hearing. That's why you got 5.
Who else though has gotten 5 games in recent history? And you have to think about the current administration and player safety.
I don't know. I just didn't like how he led with his knee to me. I wasn't crazy on it. And the one other thing that kind of drove me crazy about it too is no response from the Leafs at all. On site. That is a brawl on site with your captain laying on the ice after a hit like that. Doesn't matter.
It should be. Anybody that's, Kevin Bieksa during Sportsnet stuff has been that's the biggest issue that he had with it. Obviously, we're not privy to NHL locker rooms or what the guys like, but that has to speak about I don't know, does that mean that no one on that team respects Austin Matthews, the fact that they're not going to come to bat for him like that? That speaks more to me about what's going on in the room more so than the guys on the ice. I don't know. That's a big glaring red flag for a team that's struggling, that they're like, oh, our captain just got a dirty knee on knee, and now he's out. Did he tear his MCL? Is that what happened?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
MCL in his quad or something. He quad
Really?
rupture.
I don't know, man.
Isn't there like a 50-50 chance if you're going in for a kneeing that you can mess yourself up too?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
So again, I don't think it was intentional by Gudis. It's just like it's a bad hockey play because he's a bad skater and he's going in there on an angle with a bent knee. Matthews' knee is stiff. And it was like just above the right side of his knee, so it like bent it inward a bit. I wish Matthews obviously a speedy recovery. He's a great player, and you don't want to see guys like that missing time. But I think 5 games was accurate. And like I said, with the current administration, they hardly ever give out long suspensions, so that's about as long as you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
So the Leafs are in Anaheim on the 30th. How would you guys approach that game if you were the head coach?
Craig Berube?
Yeah.
Well, it
Back when-
depends. Like, there's other stuff you don't see off the ice, right? Did Gudis call Austin Matthews, right? Did he
Sure.
say, "I'm sorry, man, that was a complete accident. I did not want any part of that"? But Gudis is also, he's going to understand that he'll have to answer probably. But just the same, I don't think you should go out there swinging your stick like Paul Bunyan trying to hurt a guy. Like, what's that going to solve?
No, I think
You had your chance to already answer the bell or, right, like address the play. So to like come back and do it later, and it's not as dire of a thing like there's playoff like you think back to Chris Draper getting his face put in the dasher, right? That's a malicious play. Here, I just think it was not a freak accident, but a miscalculation by Gudis and how he approached that hit. That's how I'd say, and I don't think it does any justice to the game to start going out there headhunting a guy for an accident that maybe he apologized for. Now, if he goes, "Oh, well, I didn't do anything," and then like all this, and Matthews goes, "Yeah, sick him," that's a different story. But I'd like to think that Gudis probably approached it in a manly way or a gentlemanly way. So
it's going to be an all-out brawl, or it should be.
you think it should be?
Fucking right. Absolutely. 100.
I don't know. I don't like when hockey players don't really.
I know, but he's got to like answer to somebody. Somebody has to be there to.
These guys get paid millions of dollars. Did they really want to go out there and break their hands? If the Leafs wanted to do it that bad, like Brett said, they would have already done it.
I know, but
So for Berube to be like, "All right, Brandon Carlo, you're gonna go fight."
Happen. I'm telling you.
You're gonna go. I don't even know. Is there anyone on Anaheim who's remotely tough outside of Gudis? Troy Terry, I guess. But
I don't
yeah.
know.
It's like, I guess we'll find out.
Oh yeah.
They're
Gonna
calling
lace
up
it for the
Ant.
Leafs.
I hope it's a fucking war. I seriously do. I hope.
I would
they
be
do.
You know
highly
what? I can see the goalies
surprised.
going.
Well,
I
then
can see
let-
the goalies going.
well,
They've
let's
seemed to be
go.
the most passionate on both ends. Like
Now
Lucas
we're going.
Dostal and whether it's Hildeby or who's their other starter, the big guy,
Dave,
Anthony
Stolarz.
Stolarz. Yeah, thank you. I could see Stolarz and Dostal getting into it. I think they're both from the same home country.
I'm not sure.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, that'll wrap up our NHL discussion. The Wings, with 14 games left, are trying to hold on to a playoff spot. We'll see if they can do that in the last 2 weeks of the year, because the playoffs will start on April 18th, I believe. So they got a month to figure it out. We'll find
And
out.
by the way, Anthony Stolarz is just American. So
Yeah, I would say he's not Antoinette or Antony Stolarze.
and from Brno, Czech Republic is Lucas Dostal. So
Perfect. Boys, we are in the PJHL finals now for the Stobbs division.
yes, sir.
In 5 games, the Essex 73s defeated the Amherstburg Admirals. A 5-game series that Ant and I both predicted that it would go 5. Best of luck to the Amherstburg Admirals as they move on to the rest of their regular season. I had a quick chat with Coach Zach Gervais last night just to get a list of their overage players. So Congratulations to the careers of Jaden Segan, Zach Valancourt, Al Georgievic, Drew Booker, and Luka Milosevic. Congratulations to those guys. Best luck in your future endeavors. But the other thing that I found out, which was just posted to social media right as we were recording this about 12 minutes ago, the entire Amherstburg Admirals coaching staff will be leaving Amherstburg, and they will be going and coaching the U16 Sun County Panthers hockey team.
Oh, Zach Gervais.
Zach Gervais.
I had a nice chat with him the other day. He's a really nice fella.
Yeah, he's a fan of the show, and he's been very complimentary of the things that we do, and he and I have kept in touch, and so I wished him best of luck in the future endeavors. Yeah, so him and the entire coaching staff in Amherstburg are moving on to coach the U16 team for the Sun County Panthers. So back-to-back years in the Stobbs semifinals with that coaching staff. Last year they were named coaching staff of the year in the Stobbs division. So it's a big hole to fill for the Amherstburg Admirals organization, and best of luck finding the next head coach and full coaching staff there as they finish off their season. Any thoughts about that series? The Essex won game 1, Amherstburg won game 2, and then Essex won games 3, 4, and 5 for the 5-game series, or for the 4-1 series win there.
Some scraps in that series too.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. There's probably 4 or 5 in that series probably.
It's funny though, no one got a fighting major though, did they?
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I saw a lot of 2s and 10s, so
they all called them roughings. I think to avoid suspension maybe, but
that's pretty cool by the refs if you ask me.
Game 3 was in Essex when they had that big brawl. So.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I did see a clip of that.
Valancourt got the major butt ending, and he got suspended 3 games. So.
Shirky fought twice in that series. He got in a fight in game 5 too, didn't he?
Yeah, at the very end. You're right.
So.
And,
I like the feistiness out of the boys,
but he's not. It's not like he's out there looking for it either. Like,
no.
Amherstburg was definitely pretty aggressive in trying to get under the 3 skin. They knew they kind of had to do that, especially with that series being tied in that game 3. Mm-hmm. They wanted to try and see what they can do to get around Essex's offense, but that game wound up being 8-0. So.
Yes. Game 1 was a 6-3 win for Essex over Amherstburg. Game 2 was a 4-3 Amherstburg win over Essex. I believe they had a 3-0 lead to start, and then Essex tried to make the comeback there, and then Amherstburg held on for the 4-3 win. Game 3 back in Essex was an 8-0 drubbing. I believe it was 4 or 5-0 after the first period. And then game 4 was 6-2, and game 5 was also 6-2. So Essex is able to clinch the series on their home ice and move on to the Stobbs Division Finals against the Lakeshore Canadians, who pulled out a 7-game series win over the Blenheim Blades. Blenheim was up 3-2 in the series after winning game 5 by a score of 5-1. But credit to the Lakeshore Canadians, they came back to Blenheim on the Sunday night and won 3-1. And then they came back to their home ice on the Tuesday, March 17th, and took home a 3-2 win in Game 7 to move on to the Stobbs Division Finals for the 8th or 9th year in a row.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So this will be the 5th year in a row that Essex and Lakeshore will battle for the Stobbs Division title. Anthony, trivia time. Who was the last team besides Lakeshore or Essex to play in the final of the Stobbs Division?
Can I guess?
Yes, absolutely. That's the point of this game.
I don't really know a for sure answer, but I'm gonna say Amherstburg.
Close. Tristan, what's the right answer?
Technically, they never played the actual game, but the series was set in 2020 for it to be Moortown versus Lakeshore.
So
because Lakeshore had
Moortown.
beaten Essex in the semifinal that year. I remember watching that. It was right before COVID happened. And Moortown had, I'm pretty sure they had won their series in 4. They were absolutely stacked. They had Brock Perry. Like that was a heavily favored Moortown team, and it was also a stacked Lakeshore team. But I think the Flags were kind of had the edge up. They had a goalie by the name of Jake Wilkinson, who a lot of people equate to John Chartrand. But actually, they're very similar goaltenders when it comes to their size and build and how they play and the fact that they can carry their team from the back end. Or Jake Wilkins, just Jake Wilkins. No Wilkins' son. But yeah, so there's the fun fact. Now you know. But you're right. I think it was 2016 or 17. Essex in the finals played Amherstburg. So that was the last team before Moortown.
So that probably was the last time that Lakeshore wasn't in the finals then. So because I believe it's like 8 or 9 years in a row they've been in the final.
Yes. Yeah, I think it'd be 9 years, including that COVID year. So
Yeah. I tried to look it up on the league website, but for some reason they don't have the playoff going back after like 2020. It's just not there. So I tried to look it up for y'all, but everyone's memories are gonna have to be just way better. So but this sets up the rematch from last year and the rematch from the last 4 years. Essex and Lakeshore in the Stobbs Division Finals. Essex has home ice advantage, so they will host Game 1 on Friday, March 20th at 7 p.m. Lakeshore will host Game 2 on Sunday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. Sunday at 4 in Lakeshore. Essex will host Game 3 on Tuesday on their regular home ice night, Tuesday, March 24th at 7. Game 4 will be on Friday night in Lakeshore, their regular home ice night, Friday, March 27th at 7. Game 5 would be back in Essex on Sunday, March 29th at 4 p.m. So note the time, 4 p.m. on Sunday. Lakeshore would host Game 6 on Tuesday, March 31st at 7 p.m. And then Game 7, if necessary, would be on Thursday in Essex on April 2nd at 7 p.m. So all the regular games, all the games that aren't on a Sunday are at 7 p.m. Both games that are on the Sunday are at 4 p.m. there. Gentlemen, how excited are you for this series between Essex and Lakeshore?
For the record, I did call 7 games in that Lakeshore series too. Last series, I did say Lakeshore in 7.
You did, and you did say that Lakeshore would win in 7, and I took Blenheim in 7.
So, yeah, so I called both of those rounds, which is kind of crazy. Which for once, Ant was actually right about something. But here, what can I say? Here we go again, boys.
Yeah.
It's 2 teams that are gonna go to war over a series. And I mean, everybody online's kind of a little pissed. It's always Lakeshore and Essex. Well, I don't know what we should do.
I think that's part of what makes it exciting, honestly. Yeah. But
I mean, and we got as close as we have in a long time to having another team besides Essex or Lakeshore.
But it's one of those things that it's like
Blenheim had the chance. They were up 3-2 in that series. They had the chance. I thought they were going to go back home on Game 6 and they were going to win. I honestly thought that. But credit to Lakeshore for buckling down and winning Game 6 and Game 7.
Yeah, did I say a game amount for that series?
You didn't want to. I believe you didn't want to put a predictor on the series.
Right, but I said Lakeshore.
I believe so. Yes, I believe you said Lakeshore.
I'm confident. I said Lakeshore.
Yeah,
they find a way to win, and they certainly did. I went and watched that Game 7 in Lakeshore, and Lakeshore scored like a minute in. There's too many men on Blenheim, and Blenheim just let Jordan Main walk in from the blue line and score, and immediately you're chasing the game. In a Game 7, that's the last thing you want to be, and Blenheim had to do that the whole game. They were trying to come back. But credit to the Canadians, they capitalized when they needed to. They played a pretty sound game. Bo Porosky played well in net. And shout out, though, medal for valor in a loss. Russell Vaughn having to come in after his only time playing in the series was a loss. And it was like, was that the game that Lakeshore won 4 or 5-0? But yeah, I think it was Game 2. But anyway, he comes back with Van Coyle out with injury, has to play a Game 7, hasn't played in 3 games. And he absolutely shut the door on Lakeshore so many times. He played unreal. And me, I went with my dad. Just watching on from the stands, great performance by both clubs. Stephen Jacobs is the fastest guy in the league by a mile. Oh my gosh, can he fly? He gets a goal and assist in that game. The first line tried all they could for Blenheim, but just wasn't enough. The Blades, great season for them. Best
Yep.
season in program history. So
Yes. In wins and points.
yeah. And playoffs as well. I don't think they've ever won I don't know if they've ever been to the finals outside of this year. So good for them.
Yeah, congratulations to Blenheim. Yeah, it was Van Coyley sprained his ankle in Game 6, from what I was told, and so Vaughn had to come in and played rather well in Game 7 against them. And I heard that Blenheim had some chances, they just weren't unable to bury them past Bo Porosky, and it ends up as tight as you can get, a 3-2 game in a Game 7. That's like classic hockey stuff, right? And the Lakeshore Canadians pull it out, and now they go on to the and they go on to the finals once again. It should be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to watching this series.
Yeah, death taxes in a Lakeshore Essex final, right?
Yes.
I think that matchup's going to be really good. I do think yeah, I think that it's going to be one where
Instead of predicting a
team-
series winner, why don't we say what the biggest factors in the series are going to be? Because I think that if you look at forward group, defense group, and goaltending, I feel like there are some differences there. I think the biggest difference is going to be in goal. I do think that Burt Castles is the best goaltender in the division besides Johnny Chartrand, but Johnny's not in the playoffs anymore, and Burke has played rather well in the playoffs too. And I think that he will be the difference maker in this series. So I could be wrong, obviously, but I'm a big fan of Burke, and he has played very well for Essex this year, and I think he will be the difference.
what do you think, Ant?
I mean, every time these teams play, you have to flip a coin. Like, you never know which way it's going to go. But I think, I think it is going to come down to the guys in net. I think it's going to be a low-scoring series. I don't think you're going to see very many – like, you're going to see a lot of low-scoring games, I think. And it's going to be hard-hitting. They're going to play for keeps, man. This is the Stobbs finals, and it's Essex Lakeshore. The rivalry's there. It's real. It's always been there. And they're going to put another chapter into it this year, shall we say. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm going to go to work exhausted on Friday night because I'm going to Game 1. So this is what it's all about, guys. This is what the teams have played for all season, and this is what, through all I hate to sound kind of, cliche, blood, sweat, and tears, but this is what it's all about. And we're going to see these two squads clash, and I can't wait. And that's about all I can say about it. I can't tell you who's going to do what. I can't it's just going to be, let's watch and see what happens. Pretty much.
I do think that Essex has the best forward out of the two teams with Connor Hunt. I do think that Jackson Fortier Smith and Michael Kopchuk are very comparable players on D.
There's a defenseman I'd throw in there as actually being better.
Please.
And I watched this game, and you want to talk about a guy who's one of the best two-way D I've watched in Junior C? Brody Jones.
Oh, I forgot that they picked him up.
got
I'm
at
sorry.
the deadline, number 24. Man, I was like, who is this guy? Because I was like, he was moving different than everyone else on that back end. Like, Kopchuk's a great scorer from that blue line, but man, can Jones, he's 6'3", he's a big guy, and he just skates so well. I think he's going to be a difference maker on their back end. That's a huge pickup for them. And like you mentioned, the forward, because I didn't get my chance to say who I think the difference maker is going to be, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. I'm going to say it is Connor Hunt. Your best players have to be your best players, and whichever team has the one that produces more, whether it's Sullivan or Geniac or Matheson and Hunt. I think Connor Hunt has a whole different level to his game, and I think Lakeshore is going to see it. Um, this guy's a special talent. Like he went over a point per game in the OJHL, people. Okay, so we're not dealing with a regular individual right now in junior C. And you might look at his production and be like, oh well, Matheson outpaced him. Yeah, but Connor Hunt had almost twice as many points as Noah Matheson last year for Chatham. So you've got to think there's that level to his play that it's going to ramp up. This guy, he's a baller, right? He's a gamer. When it comes to these big games, now that we're starting to get out of the division to OHA, it's PJHL ongoing playoffs. We're going to see a whole different Connor Hunt that we didn't even know was there. So fans, buckle up.
So last year, the season when Essex was able to slay the Dragon, it still went 6 games, and that went 4-2. Lakeshore had a 2-1 series lead, and then Essex won games 4, 5, and 6 in a row. That was after that overtime goal there, and Essex in game 3, I believe. I forget who scored it. I apologize.
Aiden Sullivan.
It was Sullivan. Okay.
The only shot Lakeshore had in the second overtime.
Yes, I think he's going to have to play really well to help his team try and win this series. I think that Jordan Main, the 16-year-old, is going to have to play well for Lakeshore to win this series. We're going to need Kopchuk to step up not step up, but he's going to have to be one of the best players on the ice for Lakeshore to win this series. But it should be a fun chess match between these two coaching staffs. Brent Webster, solid job, the second season behind the bench in Lakeshore. I would say that Blenheim had all the momentum, right? They're up 3-2 going into game 6 on home ice there. And Brent Webster pushed the buttons to help his team win that game pretty convincingly from what I remember. It was 3-1, and then come back home, gave them the game plan to help them get an early lead and hold on to a 3-2 series or game 7 win and a series win. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, Tony Porowski has been here before. He's been here many times before, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the Essex 73s have in store as well. So for all the fans that want to be there, make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you join us on Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, because this one could absolutely go all 7.
Yeah.
Essex did win the regular season series 5-1. I will say that.
That doesn't mean anything now. This
no,
is the playoffs,
it's
anything,
right.
Anything
it doesn't
is possible.
Because there's still guys, and I think this is a big factor. There is still guys in the 73's locker room, and I recognize I'm on staff with Essex, so I'll choose my words wisely. But there's guys in this Essex team that still know the damage Lakeshore can do and how scary of a team they're capable of being. And sometimes that can get to you. You find yourself down 1 or 2-0 in a series, it can get scary real quick. And that's where you have to have those leaders come into the room and say, no, this isn't how it's going to go, and they take over the game. Like last year, Essex was down 1-0. We got whacked 5-1 versus Lakeshore in game 1 in our barn. Guess what? Didn't matter. We won 4 of the next 5, so, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can turn it around just as quickly as we can throw it away, and it's what direction do you want to take it?
Ant,
last words on this series?
Just enjoy, everybody, both sides. Enjoy.
Could be packed.
You're gonna see some great hockey, big crowds, and I'm just really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the crowd numbers are. I'm hoping to see upwards of 1,000 fans at these games, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of some friendly faces at these games, and I'm looking forward to seeing more so. I want to see these overagers and these players in their last round and their last dance, putting it all on the table, putting their chips on the table and pushing it all in, and giving it everything they got, because this is what it's all about. This is the stuff that you remember when you're old and gray like Ant and I.
Yeah.
I still remember, winning the Ofsted championship when I was 17 with General Amherst.
That's legendary. You got a ring?
I do have a ring.
Oh, heck yeah. I wish. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
I'm sorry if you've told me that and it slipped my mind.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Yeah, it's the stuff that it's the stuff that you don't forget. This is the stuff, the boys, the boys in the room, the beers after the game, and the triumphs that you can talk about for a lifetime afterwards. There's a lifetime of bragging rights on the line here in the Stobbs Division Final for these young men, and I wish them the best of luck moving forward. Yep. Any last words on this, boys? I'm thinking it's going to go at least 6 or 7.
Minimum.
I'll speak for you guys.
Yeah.
Because you guys have affiliations. I'm saying it's going to go at least 6 or 7 games.
6.
We'll see. It all starts tomorrow at the Essex Center Sports Complex. So
yes. Okay. So once more, game 1 is Friday.
At 5, if not 5:30.
What the doors? Okay. Yeah. So game 1 once again Friday, March 20th at 7 p.m. at Essex. Game 2 at Lakeshore is Sunday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. Game 3. Tuesday, March 24th at Essex at 7 p.m. Game 4 at Lakeshore, Friday, March 27th at 7 p.m. Game 5, if necessary, would be back at Essex on Sunday, March 29th at 4 p.m. Tuesday would be Game 6 in Lakeshore on March 31st at 7 p.m. And Game 7, if necessary, would be back in Essex on a Thursday, April 2nd at 7 p.m. Last year, this series ended right before my birthday, on April 4th, and I think this time it might be right before my birthday again, and I'm looking forward to being there when it happens.
Yep.
All right, anything else before we wrap up the show?
That is it.
All right, go to bed, Ant. From all of us here at Hat-Trick Hockey, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you support our sponsors because they support us. Get your 20% off biosteel.ca using the promo code CrispyHTH. Get your 10% off at Howie's Hockey Tape by using the promo code HTH Podcast. Follow us on all of our social media channels. Give us a subscription on YouTube. And make sure you like and share and rate us on all of your listening platforms. For Anthony and Tristan, I'm Brett saying so long and thank you for tuning in to Hat Trick Hockey. Good night.
I've lost my fight with time. My number's up and up the line. I gaze at the darkness, so empty, just looking for the light. Shout for help, but no one's there. Need a guiding hand, someone who cares. All alone in the darkness, I've realized for the first time I am scared. If I could do it all again, if I had one more chance, my friend.